In order to have a file for the text for the title of your animation, you want to start with a new file. You want to set it to, and we want to have the preset set for web. And the closest we can get is 1280 by 1024. And you can change that to 1280 by 720 and say, OK. It's important to use text. Let's go ahead and use Helvetica. And I think regular. And 90 points a good size. I want it to be centered, and I'm going to choose a color. It's important to use a color that you know you will be able to see against the background, and I think a red would be a good color, a nice bright red. Okay, you can make your window in Photoshop as big as it needs to be so you can see everything by double-clicking on the hand tool. I've got the character window open here. You can also just get your type tool. When you look at the top in the options bar, you can choose the type that you want, the characters that you want. You want to have a font that will look good. I'm going to say Helvetica. Just go with regular Helvetica. And let's go for 90 points. So you can go down and choose whatever is the largest, 72 I believe, but then you type 90 up here and hit return. The font size will now be 90. You can see the color is going to be that red color that we chose. Now you can center it, center the text. Okay, you can just go ahead and you can select an area, or you can just click anywhere and start typing, and I'm going to type swimming fish. I'm going to select all the letters. I'm going to go over here to tracking. I want my tracking to be tighter, so I'm going to select -10, and that makes the words go a little bit closer together. And then, if you select the Move tool, by select all, center, center. So if you select all, you can center it, and this is accurate. And now we're going to File, Save, and we're going to give it a name that we'll recognize. Make sure it's PSD, and save it with the correct title. And I'm going to call it text. You want to make sure it's a PSD file, and then just click OK. Now I'm going to close this file, and now I'll go to my AfterEffects file, and I will double click. I will import the text, and I'll make sure that I import it as a composition, retain layer sizes, and there it is, and everything's correct. Now I make sure that I'm on 14 tutorial, and that's this tab down in my timeline should say 14 tutorial. Here's 13, here's 14. I'm going to drag my text down right there. There it is. Okay, there's my swimming fish. And I'll double click to open that and make sure that I have my swimming fish text layer selected. Convert to editable text under the layer pull down. And now it will be editable text. So now if I go to Animation, Browse Presets, I've got the text layer selected. It will open up the bridge, and it will show what animation effects are available that I can use on this particular file. I want to go to the, well, you can use Essentials. I like to use Film Strip, and go to Text, and then there's all these different types of animation presets. You've got tracking, scale, rotate, paths, organic, graphical, fill and stroke, curves and spins, blurs. So just for the sake of this particular tutorial, let's try organic. And they have names, so you can see what type of motion it might be, and you click on each of them to have a preset. So here's autumn, here's boiling, boomerang, bouncing, chewing gum, drop is rather nice. Fish bait is kind of goofy. Hummingbird. So there's a lot of different effects in here that you can use. Okay, under the text blurs, there's one called evaporate, which is kind of fun. And we can double click on it to apply it. And you don't see it until you do a preview. And it evaporates out. But one of the fun things we can do, go back to 0. If you open up all of the transforms, and to do that you press U, it shows you everything that's been changed. And so it's got the range selector. And what you want to do is you want to select all of the keyframes and then right click to get the keyframe assistant and time reverse the keyframes. And once you've done that, instead of animating it out, it'll animate it in. And you can see that by using a RAM preview. And there, it looks really good. Okay, so now I'm going to stop the RAM preview by hitting the space bar. I'm going to go back to 0. And now I'm going to File, Save. There we go.